That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 15 of Hardest Part of the Ring. This is the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. My name's Adam, and I think we should probably kick things off by talking about our favourite Raw moments of all time. So, hello Sam, do you want to start us off?
Hello, mate. Yeah, favourite Raw moment was around about 2013 or so. It was the championship unification between Randy Orton and John Cena. All the champions in the ring. Crowd goes absolutely nuts for Daniel Bryan. It's awesome. Really good moment.
You were a massive Bryan fan, weren't you?
I am, but the thing is, around this point in time, like I've been watching wrestling the whole time, but was sort of getting out of it. It was just like, this is kind of boring. And then that was the moment that I got really back into it, and that's 5 years now.
That was when we worked together, and I remember you sort of talking about Daniel Bryan, and it's when I didn't really watch, and you got me back into it slowly by doing lots of yes chants and pointing at the ceiling.
I mean, Daniel Bryan got us into it. Let's give credit where credit is due.
Nice. John, hello.
Hello.
What can you remember?
So I think my favourite Raw moment is from January 1999, and it's when Mankind won his first WWE Championship.
Yes.
It's such a great moment. Obviously, he got Shane in like a submission move and made Vince give him this title shot at the end of the show against The Rock. And it was such a great moment. And look, the whole locker room came out and lifted him up on their shoulders.
Yeah, amazing.
It was a guy that you never thought was going to win the WWE Championship, sort of winning it. It was great.
Good choice. Hello, Brett.
Hello.
Have you got a good memory of Raw?
I've got a memory.
Good.
Just about. I'm not the best with remembering anything that's like longer than a week ago.
Good.
So I was racking my brain when you mentioned this.
Yeah.
And I have to say,
just so people are aware, I mentioned this about an hour ago.
Yeah.
didn't give you much warning, but go on.
No, so I was like, trying to think, can I remember anything that like wasn't in the Raw 25 episode?
Yeah.
And there was only one thing I could remember, which is something that I found hilarious at the time. I couldn't tell you when it happened, so you'll have to Google to find out a year. Is when The Rock was doing promos, and he was like being interviewed by Michael Cole, and he kept on like putting a towel or a t-shirt over his head because he couldn't look at him. He was not allowed to be on screen while he was interviewing The Rock, so that's my memory. My best Raw moment.
Classic moment.
Adam, what's yours?
Mine is, but I was thinking about this as well, and again, it's one of those things, so many moments, but absolutely none of them jump to mind straight away. And I started thinking, well, I've always liked debuts of wrestlers after WrestleMania or any debuts. And then I remembered that, I've only been watching Raw regularly over the last sort of 2 or 3 years since you guys got me back into it. I was tempted to go for Braun Strowman last year crashing the ambulance into with Roman Reigns as a moment, but instead I looked for what debuts happened recently, and then remembered, of course, Kevin Owens, 2015.
Oh, that was a great debut.
Yeah,
that is a classic.
So this was the time when John Cena was doing his US title open challenges, and up popped the current NXT champion.
Actually, do you know what else was a good one? Was Sami Zayn's debut too.
Yeah. Was that on Raw?
I think that was also on Raw. I think that might have been literally the week later.
Okay. But weirdly, our memory plays tricks on you. I thought that Owens won the US title immediately. Like on that night, he came up and he challenged him for it and he won it. But he didn't. It was just like a, here I am, and a bit of a beatdown. And then he actually won the title on his debut match at Elimination Chamber a few weeks later. So, but yeah, great debut, and obviously great wrestler, and immediately won over by his charisma, and still larging it to this day.
Great choice. A lot of very recent picks.
Yeah, well, I think most of the big old classics were done on Raw 25, or they're moments that everybody knows about. So,
There's a good promo vid.
what on Raw? On Raw?
Yeah, at the top.
Oh God, yeah, that was great.
That was good.
Really good. Got me in the mood. But before we get to discussing Raw, just wanted to say thank you, as normal, to everybody who checked out the last episode. It's our top 5 wrestlers' entrance music. I thought it was really cool how we got to hear quite a few of the themes we discussed on Raw this week. Quite a few of the classic themes came up again. As people who listened to last week's show will know, we weren't really planning to do a podcast this week. We were going to wait until Royal Rumble, but we just thought, as Raw was celebrating 25 years, we may as well sit down and discuss it as well. In terms of news, obviously there's one big story going around at the moment, which I think we're going to leave well alone and maybe come back to at a later date. John, you went to Rev Pro at the weekend. How was it?
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, it was such a good show. Had an amazing time. Some amazing matches, like CCK versus Josh Bodham and Zach Gibson was good.
Nice.
Evil and Sonada versus Aussie Open was brilliant.
Bloody love
I'm
Aussie
so
Open.
jealous. So jealous.
Will Ospreay versus Mark Andrews was really good. Mark Andrews did a reverse Frankensteiner as well, and it was badass.
I saw that on Twitter. That looked mental.
Yeah.
I don't know how they pulled that off.
Oh, so good. And obviously the main event, Suzuki Gun, Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Mustache Mountain, which was brutal.
So good.
I went with my brother.
The chop.
Yeah, the chops were insane. And Trent sold like a bastard. He was so good. But yeah, I went with my brother because he got me the tickets for Christmas. And he had an amazing time as well. He's not a big wrestling fan, but he was super into it. It was such a good show.
Nice.
Did they play Kaze ni Nare when Suzuki came? Oh.
Did you sing along?
A little bit. I don't really know the words, so you just sort of make noises.
You just
Japanese.
just Kaze ni Nare. That's the only bit you need to sing along to.
But it's amazing just seeing him in the flesh. Like, he's such a presence. It's great.
Yeah, we were very jealous when you were sending through photos. Brett, as well, a bit of news from your side. I think people will have seen on Twitter that you've been doing some work with Riptide recently. I think it's okay to talk about this, isn't it? Because they've given you a shout out.
Yeah, they have. They've. I don't think they've actually mentioned all the bits yet, so I won't talk about all of it. But yeah, there's going to be some T-shirts and some stickers with some artwork from myself, which is pretty cool. They're seeing it quite a lot pop up in my feed now, so that's nice.
Yeah. Do you reckon we're going to get free T-shirts from this? Because, without the podcast, maybe that link wouldn't be there or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, maybe. I think I've got a couple coming my way. Although
Nice timing, Adam. Nice timing.
they're long line T-shirts, so I'm guessing that's like an extra long T-shirt.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm quite short, so I'm not sure it's going to work with me.
It's going to be like a little nightie for you.
Yeah. you might
curl up.
Yeah, it might see like, I don't know, the top of my socks below it or something.
Yeah, it's a good look. Maybe we'll get you modelling it on the on our Twitter or something.
Yeah, I'll get a stupid massive like XX or something just for the fun.
Cool. And final bit of news, just to tease really, that we have a brand new little segment coming up after our Raw review. Just something silly and fun to keep an eye on as the weeks go on, but we'll get to that a bit later. For now, though, let's talk about 25 years of Raw.
Oh my God! Oh, nice spread on the apron!
So I thought we'd kick off with some Raw facts. Just off the top of my head, these guys know I love stats, so all of these are just things that I've always known and remembered. The first ever show was on January the 11th, 1993. I'm going to do this for a podcast point. Can anybody name one of the wrestlers who headlined?
I watched this episode a couple
Bret
of
Hart.
days ago, so I know.
Points coming up for John. Who is
Undertaker versus Demento was the
Correct.
headline event.
Demento.
Point for John. So the full lineup for the first ever episode of Monday Night Raw. They started with a dark match between Crush and Bam Bam Bigelow. Then they opened up properly with Yokozuna versus Koko Beware. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There's some big guys on this.
Yeah.
Like physically big guys.
Then they had the Steiner brothers versus the Executioners. Followed up by Shawn Michaels versus Max Moon. Shawn Michaels retained the Intercontinental Championship.
Sorry,
Max
versus who?
Max
Was
Moon.
he?
Moon.
Did he have like the like space boots? Was that guy?
He did have
Is
a
he the one who looked like
really
the Tron guy?
yeah,
No.
like a neon predator almost. Actually, I think.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I've never heard of this person.
Oh, Google him. You'd love it. You'd love the outfit. And then, as we mentioned, the headline match that night was The Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus Damien Demento.
My Undertaker.
He has risen.
So, in preparation for this episode, the Raw 25, I actually watched the first Raw, the second Raw, and I'm halfway through the 93 Rumble.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to try and work my way through.
Consummate professional.
Consummate professional, but also very clearly in between jobs at the moment.
True.
So you've been sitting at home all day
watching old
wrestling.
episodes of Raw. Yep.
That is good. That is good. In the last 25 years, there have been 1,288 episodes of Raw. They have had 13 different theme songs. It's estimated that each episode of Raw costs around $700,000 to produce. Obviously, that used to be a lot more before they got rid of the pyro. They get around 4 million viewers a week, which it sounds like quite a lot, but
Steadily dropping.
yeah, stark contrast to the late 90s when they used to get up to 10 million. I don't know if you knew this, because they definitely have never mentioned this before. But Monday Night Raw is the longest running weekly episodic TV show in US history.
Wow.
No.
I don't think they've ever mentioned that.
That is
No, they
strange.
really should make a big deal out of that.
Adam, how much does the WWE Network cost?
$9.99 a month. That's dollars though, isn't it? Or is it pounds as well?
I think it's.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a drop in the ocean for you, Sam, isn't it?
Oh, God, if
You
only.
don't care how much it is. In the last 25 years, they've had almost 800 superstars have matches on Monday Night Raw. Anyone want to guess? We'll do this for another podcast point.
What, all 800?
No. No. Anyone want to guess who holds the record for the most wins on Raw in 1 year? And I'll give you a clue. It happened in 2007.
John Cena.
No.
Kane.
Oh, I was going to go Kane as well. Damn it.
No, it's not always Kane.
Kane's the default answer.
2007.
Yeah. John, just you left to guess.
Okay.
You get 2 points.
I'm going to go for a way out with their guest, Ryback.
2007?
Was he around? Was it that when they were really building him up like this unstoppable?
No, he debuted in 2010.
Okay, not him. Not Ryback.
John, okay. Let us just gloss over that. Is Jeff Hardy?
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah, Jeff Hardy had 34 wins in 2007 on Monday Night Raw. So there you go. And then finally, the highest rated segment in Raw history. I'm not sure where they actually do these ratings, but this was given a average rating of 8.4 out of 10. The highest rated segment in Raw history was Mick Foley's "This Is Your Life" segment for The Rock,
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
which was an
That's
absolute classic.
really funny.
Yeah, so that's it. There's some facts for you. Should we go on to talk about the actual event?
Let's talk about Raw 25.
Yeah.
Raw 25 coming at you. One half, well, I say one half, is about 3/4 from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And then a very small amount coming from the Manhattan Center in New York City. Did you see the stuff online about the fans at the Manhattan Center getting a bit
seen
pissed off?
the photo of JR and King
Asleep.
falling asleep.
They had
It was
to
a weird
release a
setup.
statement saying they weren't asleep.
But I mean, here's the thing: is that they have they say stuff like that. But you remember the time we went to see WWE in Brighton?
Yeah.
Lillian Garcia was sat there just doing a crossword for the whole thing. Like,
So this obviously happened on Monday night, 22nd of January 2018, just for all those people listening to this podcast in the future. As we just touched on, Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler were commentating at the Manhattan Center, and then Michael Cole, Booker T and Corey Graves were at the Barclays Center. And the show was opened up with Stephanie and Shane McMahon.
What a welcome change.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gave the interesting stat that the Raw is going out. I think Michael Cole said this actually, but it was going out in 160 different countries in 20 different languages, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Then they showed the highlights video, which we all talked about, and I certainly got goosebumps during that. It was pretty amazing to see.
There was a point in it when it showed a clip of Shelton Benjamin catapulting himself into the ring and Shane McMahon, Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin musicking him, and I just thought, man, I really miss Shelton Benjamin. I wish he would come back. And then
you remember
yeah, I literally had like this polarizing moment. I was just like, wait, he is back.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's very strange.
So yeah, Steph and Shane did a bit of talking, and then that music hit. Or well, he got introduced, and the music hit. The music that John selected as one of his top 3. In the
Did
last
you
podcast.
notice how crazy the crowd went for that entrance music?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Sing along.
I did, and they sang along. Yeah,
yeah. More hype than Mojo.
yeah. I was actually surprised. He got a massive pop, but as you'd expect, really, especially on an episode like this.
He's pure box
Somebody
office as
has-
well, Vince.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's so good on the mic still to this day.
Yeah. He was brilliant.
It was absolutely
yeah.
amazing.
I thought he was
He
absolutely.
was delighted with
Yeah.
He was delighted with his plaque.
I think this actually, like, after watching the whole thing, I think this was my favourite moment of Raw 25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a shame, isn't it?
It is. It was so good. Like, Vince was so good, especially like setting Shane up. You know, all the stuff you see, like, and all the jokes on Twitter about you know, how he wished Shane a happy birthday on Twitter, and then how he wished Triple H a happy birthday.
Yes.
Like the son he wish he always had. And then
yeah.
and then he sets him up, you know, to take a stunner instead of
It was
himself.
stunner. Yeah. Obviously,
So good.
when that glass smash happened, we talked about it on last week's episode. Massive
And that
pop. I
entrance
thought of the
music
three
and
of
that
you
pop.
Oh,
popping.
he looks in such great shape as well, didn't he, Stone Cold? He looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did look good. How funny was this was one of my favourite moments, just in terms of a singular tiny little moment, but when they got the beers out and they cheersed and that little bit sloshed onto Vince's suit. And he looked up at him. That was so good. 'Cause
I
obviously that
laughed
wouldn't,
so
you know,
much through this opening segment. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny. My one criticism would be, why wouldn't you give Stone Cold a mic? Like, he's the best talker the company's ever had. Why give him a mic?
Yeah. They only gave it to him backstage. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
have you seen that promo on the backstage? That promo?
Yes.
Oh, it's really good.
When he rips into
the
the
interviewer.
The interviewer.
Oh, so good. It's on WWE.com. It's worth watching. It's really good.
Yeah.
That whole opening segment it was so good. Love Vince selling Shane down the river.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
And Shane, I've got props to Shane for the way he sold that stunner, particularly the second one after he had the sword of the beer.
Yeah.
He bounced up into the air and then spurted the beer out of his mouth like a whale or something. It was amazing.
I think that last stunner was the one that actually looked like it was back in the day. The others looked a bit sketchy, but that one was like back in the groove at that point.
Yeah, looking forward now to the next 10 pay-per-view main events being Stone Cold versus Shane McMahon.
Man, I'd love that.
I'd take that.
Yeah. I loved it how when Stone Cold was on the turnbuckles giving the middle finger, the cameraman was desperately trying not to show the middle fingers.
It's not PG
Not
enough.
PG.
Yeah.
So that was a great opening segment. Really, just pure nostalgia, really.
Yeah.
I think everybody loved that.
Yeah.
And then we sort of had a come down because then they actually had a match. And I was kind of like, no, I just want moments, you know? I just want
They sort of
to see all
they
the
sort
old
of had
legends.
come down for like the next 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You thought they would like set it up, like they started it really well, and they started it how you expected the whole show to go.
Yeah, exactly. But then I guess they are still building towards, towards the Rumble, so they had to carry on with some of the narratives. So the match they had was Nia Jax, Alicia Fox, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville versus Bayley, Sasha Banks, Mickie James, and Asuka. Paige was there. She was at ringside. Do you think she's sort of going to take on a bit of a manager role maybe with the rest of Absolution now?
I don't know. It's weird she's there. Like it must be if she can't wrestle anymore, it must be really hard for her to be ringside so soon after.
Yeah.
Do you know what? She's under £205. Maybe she's going to take a manager role somewhere else.
She's probably the only one like that's got good mic skills, because I haven't really seen the other two on the mic yet. So that's probably part of the reason of putting the three together when they came up in the first place.
Yeah.
Like having someone to talk for the other two for a while so that they can get their grounds and bearings with it. So I can see them sticking with that for a while.
I get the impression that Paige, and I feel like I'd probably be the same, she's been working up to this comeback, and then to then get injured and then just be sat at home would be pretty hard to take. So she's probably enjoying sort of still being involved and
maybe
to travel around with everyone.
Yeah, I really hope she gets back in the ring. I really do.
So we won't go too deep into reviewing the matches because I didn't really watch the matches properly. I was sort of trying to skip through. Sasha Banks won that match with a bank statement on Alicia Fox. And then we had another promo, Kurt Angle with some legends. This was great because we had Harvey Whippleman, Brother Love, Teddy Long, Jonathan Coachman, and then another star from one of our previous top 5 episodes. The Boogeyman comes out, and he had the worms.
I had to turn it away when he started eating the worms. I couldn't be watching that. I'm sorry, I can't.
That was
horrid.
So gross.
I find the Boogeyman such a strange figure in WWE because he's not really. He hasn't had a legendary career like the others. He literally was around for a few years and was just this weird creep, and then I don't know. He's always the punchline to every. It's just a strange thing with him.
It's because he puts worms in his mouth.
That's right. Vince loves
and
that.
he keeps them there. He keeps them there. Like how long? Like, he kept on putting them back. I think he's like fake chewing because like they're obviously all still in there wriggling around. Like that must feel weird.
Oh god, yeah. I can't.
He's probably used to it by now.
I don't want to imagine it. It's awful.
What if one escapes? Tries to escape down the
I don't think they're that fast. I think you'd be able to get that worm before it had a chance to get down there.
I don't know, man. I reckon gravity's done the work. I think a fair amount.
Probably like a good, clean source of protein. He's lifting a lot of weights. He needs to get that protein in him.
Do you think he's still lifting?
I don't know. He looked in pretty good shape, actually, didn't he?
Yeah,
he kind of seems a little bit ageless. I have a feeling he goes home in that makeup and he doesn't take it off.
So after that, we went back to the Manhattan Center, where the fans could actually see some people in the flesh. And we had an Undertaker video, which again, like the opening video, was just amazing to watch. And then we saw the Undertaker. Really weird. Like, it wasn't it weird the way that there was sort of no entrance. They just came through a curtain and then they were right.
Yeah.
Can we? The Undertaker's wig. What the fuck was that?
Wig? He had his hood up.
I'm so certain he had a wig on underneath it.
No.
I don't recall seeing any hair.
No, seriously, he has hair coming out of the side of his hood, but it's clearly a wig. It's batshit weird.
I mean, this whole promo was weird.
Yes. Yeah. It was even more a shame because it's like, okay, he's not wrestling good. Oh no, this bit on the mic is really weird as well. Like he's just souring things by appearing and being there too long.
Yeah, I've just Googled this and actually I can confirm that he does have hair. It's as if he's got long hair and it's coming down over his shoulders.
It's so strange. I could not look at it.
But I mean, it was good, wasn't it? It was good that he didn't actually come out. I had a feeling he was going to come out in his hat and jacket again, and that was all going to be forgotten. But they stayed true.
Yeah, that was nice
to the narrative.
Yeah,
I'm still not 100% certain we're not going to see him at WrestleMania though.
His promo didn't really give anything away. It was weird.
He sort of ended it on rest in peace, didn't he? Like, does that mean you or your next opponent? Please don't mean next opponent. I don't want to see the next opponent.
Didn't he claim to have been undefeated as well during this promo?
Possibly. I mean, it was one of the worst promos I've ever seen.
It was pretty bad.
Oh, poor Taker.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
We then had a new segment with APA protection. Doesn't APA mean Acolyte Protection Agency?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
because they were the acolytes.
Acolyte Protection Agency protection is basically what they had on the door, and those guys were playing poker with Slater and Rhino, and then $1 Million Man turned up.
I love these poker segments. I thought they were really nice. And when the $1 Million Man turned up, it was great. Like,
Yeah.
Such a great moment.
He's
Good way of getting lots of people involved,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Heath Slater and Rhino, underrated tag team, I think.
Yeah, I think they're proper good mid-carders, aren't they? They're funny. They can put on a decent match if needed.
I was quite surprised when they actually had a match. I wouldn't have thought they would be chosen to have a match on this big show.
I mean, match is a strong word for what they had as well.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I'm not sure about seeing JBL as part of the APA in his current persona. Like, that worked back in the 90s when he was kind of, before he went to being JBL. When he was,
Yeah.
like when he was Bradshaw, that worked
Bradshaw.
really well. But as JBL, it's just kind of, I don't know, doesn't quite have the same impact.
No, it's a fair point. Yeah. I don't know. I think because he hasn't been on TV for a while, I completely forgot about the JBL character. So it's nice to see him as APA.
I mean, I think the JBL character is basically who he is.
After that, we had the introduction of some general managers from the past. John Laurinaitis. William Regal. Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the disease.
Oh, so he's not Mexican. You know I can't pronounce stuff. It's a theme, okay? Outside of the podcast, I pronounce things perfectly, but this is my gimmick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're renowned for your pronunciation outside the podcast.
I know. God's sake. Then William Regal came out. Eric Bischoff and Daniel Breen. And it was good to see. I didn't actually realise that William Regal was a Monday Night Raw GM.
His stint as Monday Night Raw GM, it's weird repeating that like that, was amazing. He was really being pushed to be like top star in the company, and then he had a steroids problem.
Okay.
Got suspended. Yeah, it was around about 2008 or so. There's an incredible clip I really urge you looking up where he basically he goes into a camera truck and he forces Raw off the air at the end of the episode. But he gets one of the production assistants screaming in their face, and then the show just ends.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really good.
I love Regal. He's great.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, I do. I love the NXT chants that he got when he came out.
Yeah. This was actually, in my opinion, one of the best moments of the night was The Miz coming out and squaring up with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice nod to continuity.
Yeah.
That was nice. Yeah, so as Sam said, The Miz came out with The Miz Taraj, and then Roman Reigns came out, and we had a big match on our hands, a match for the Intercontinental title. One of the things that really stood out to me was the person in the sort of front row with a sign that said "Sweat on me, Roman."
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see
Didn't
that.
you see it? It was like I think it was a man. Well, no, it was probably a woman. I don't know.
It could be a man or a woman.
Could be, man.
Yeah,
Roman
no, that's
Reigns
true.
is someone who, you know what? Yeah. Sweat.
Yeah,
Let him
it
sweat.
was definitely a person.
Could have been Sam.
It might have been Sam.
Of all the wrestlers to sweat on you, I think Roman would be quite high up on my list.
I think you'd get like a lot of hair in your eyes.
Who would be the lowest down on your list? I think Killian Dane would be my last
Yeah.
last
He's
choice.
a hairy
Yeah,
man.
he's so hairy. Anyway, let's stop that. I thought this was a really good match.
Yeah, this was a great match.
Really good match. Roman Reigns is really still massively booed.
I know.
Yeah, particularly on this show.
It's not turning around.
I wonder if it's gone to that
it's
bit,
weird.
a bit like with Angle, with You Suck. It's like almost like the boos are a term of endearment.
I don't know.
Yeah.
man.
I think he's basically in Cena territory, isn't it? Where he
Yeah.
just does
Yeah.
split the crowd. You get all the youngsters who adore him. I mean, he's got so many hardcore fans, Roman Reigns, and then you get the rest of us. Sorry, not us. The rest of the people who boo him. I wouldn't boo him.
I like Roman. I'm a big fan. I think he's a great wrestler.
Yeah, he is.
I was
I
like
don't know.
coming around on him, like, because I do think he's stepping up his game, but actually, like the character stuff, I still don't. I'm not on board with.
I kind of think he's like a American Okada.
Oh,
Silence.
that's unfair.
Yeah. I'm not sure we can continue doing these pods.
I think that's what WWE want, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, he's not a million miles away.
No, I mean I was doing that in jest. He's not anywhere near that level, but he's good. He's really good.
The comparison is like, New Japan treat Okada as their like Ultimate number one, and I think WWE want to do that with Roman
They're
Reigns.
desperate for that.
But the fans just aren't on board.
How about he's like an American Bad Luck Fale?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But do we reckon?
But anyway, the
obviously,
match.
Yeah, obviously Reigns lost. Sorry, so Miz gets the belt.
Yes.
Does this lead up to Reigns winning the Rumble? Do you reckon? Get the belt off him?
No.
I mean, what it definitely leads up to is Reigns being back in the title picture, and probably Reigns, Lesnar. Yeah, maybe he will win it.
Plus, this was purely for Roman to look after the belt while Miz went and did a film, wasn't it? And now the Miz is back, and he's won the belt back.
Yeah, for the 8th time. Do you think that perhaps somebody from SmackDown's going to win the Rumble, and then they'll face AJ, and then they'll build up Reigns separately to face Lesnar?
Am I right in thinking that the pay-per-view after the Rumble is Fastlane?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's a Raw one?
Don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I reckon a SmackDown win on the Rumble and then a Fatal 4-Way or something at Fastlane with Roman Reigns going through to get to point at the sign for the next 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, do WWE want a crescendo of boos when Roman wins the Rumble again?
I don't know if he'll win it. No.
Nakamura.
No.
I'm on board with whoever's prediction that was.
Yeah, I think Nakamura still.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Keep it on SmackDown, and then that can be the main event at WrestleMania, and then you can still have Reigns versus Lesnar. Because Lesnar's going to retain, isn't he? Let's face it, at the Rumble.
At Rumble? I've got a theory about that, but we'll talk about that later.
Ooh, teasing it.
Okay. Ooh, blimey.
Big expectations now, John.
Yeah. Miz became the 8-time Intercontinental Champion. I really liked sort of the near falls they had in this match, some really good ones, and obviously the removal of the buckle pad halfway through was cool.
Yeah,
really cool. Great.
Yeah.
I think he's having the best time of his career at this current run.
Yeah, it feels like they're about to really push him as well, actually, because he obviously got a big TV show coming out, which is just him and Maurice. Feels like WWE are putting a lot behind him as well. So
he deserves it. I think I'm ready to see the Miz and main event kind of like actual world heavyweight title picture.
Yeah, I'd like to see that
for an extended period of time. I think he's done the hard work. He's done the groundwork, and he's just brilliant.
Yeah, and the world are like, the world watching are on board. Mostly with the work he's doing and acknowledging it. So it would be great if WWE themselves continue to pick up on that.
Yeah. After that match, we went back to the poker table, and Jeff Hardy had joined in. MVP was there too, as well as the Usos. And then after that, we had Peep Show with Christian.
Where was Edge?
I think he's...
Well, they said that he had other commitments, didn't they? But, who knows what. Obviously, this was just a vehicle for continuing the feud between Seth Rollins, Jason Jordan, and Sheamus and Cesaro. The Jordan heel turn is coming, isn't it?
I think he's coming. Amazing at the moment. I think he's doing so well with the heat he's getting.
The way that he sort of interrupted Seth.
Yeah.
And the boos.
I really hate him. He seems awful.
Yeah, I think they're doing well there. Then we had a interview with Alexa Bliss before Charlotte interrupted her and brought out her dad, Ric Flair, which was a nice moment. I mean, I was going to say something harsh about him looking very old, but he is an old man and he's recently ill man, so I probably shouldn't bother, even though I just have.
Yeah. Fair point.
Yeah.
Well made.
Then we went back to the poker table where Natalia had joined in and Titus Worldwide as well. And I'm pretty sure one of us sent a little message on the WhatsApp saying that they were a big fan of Dana Brooke now, that she's a sort of, well, I was going to say saucy secretary, but that's a bit unnecessary. But
okay, so I'm actually going to say it now. I've actually been a fan of Dana Brooke for a long time before the secretary thing.
Sure.
Statistician.
Then, after this long gap, we went back to the Manhattan Center for... really weird, wasn't it? Seeing Bray come out and then Matt Hardy come out at such a small venue. It kind of made it easy to sort of imagine it. Obviously, the match, the wrestling that we go and see tends to be those kind of sizes in terms of the venue. It was just really interesting, I thought, to see them coming out and wrestling in that small arena.
Yeah,
but I'm the only one who thought that. What do you think about the bit where JR said, Matt Hardy's soul is connecting with Sister Abigail.
It might.
Yeah, it's better than his Bluetooth joke.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
I don't remember the Bluetooth joke.
Yeah, there was a couple of odd comments during this match,
yeah.
but we'll forgive him. He hadn't had a chance to get warm. He'd said a few things, then sat there for 25 minutes.
He'd only just woken up.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd already been told off by JR
Yeah,
for talking about puppies.
Oh yeah, that bit was awful.
Yeah, that was good on JR though. It was like straight away, like, no, we don't do that now.
Yeah.
no.
I have not missed either JR or the King at all.
No.
Oh, I still love JR.
I still like both of them together.
Yeah, Mae Young Classic though. JR was great. After his sort of dodgy turn on the UK Championship special, he was back to his best. I thought, well, maybe not his best, but he was very good for the Mae Young Classic. What do you think of the match?
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, poor.
I don't understand why Bray Wyatt went over.
Yeah,
Well, it's about time.
Yeah,
Won a
true.
match.
He's cashing in his once a year. I have to have at least
This
one.
is his Christmas present, his Christmas bonus from WWE. You get to win one match, and it's against Matt Hardy.
Yeah, a big match in a way.
Is this not really weird as well though? Like, because I thought, I mean, obviously, because Matt Hardy's Woken thing is weird and Bray Wyatt does weird, so we all know that they're going to be put together in a feud.
Yeah,
But like, this seems like early on, and it just a random short match where Bray just wins. I just felt like there was nothing in story there. There was just like, oh, we've got a match to put in. Who've we got over at this little centre? No one.
yeah. It was very weird.
I'm not into the broken Matt Hardy thing either.
I'm not either.
The thing is, it's like, I think the stuff outside of like the match is good, and like the whole thing to it was the weird, TNA film. Like,
But this is a thing.
right.
that was where it was great, and when you take all that out, what's left apart from Matt Hardy being a bit weird and just shouting delete?
Yeah, I think it's a big payoff, isn't it, for the people who watched that? And I know you guys did, and we talked about it at the time, but I didn't. I never got round to watching it. So, and there'll be a lot of people like me who don't really know anything about it, and it's just like, well, why has he suddenly turned into a maniac? I don't mind the delete thing, but the laughing it's like,
and why was Jeff Hardy at the wrong venue?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Like, Jeff Hardy's there. Why is he not with Matt?
He had cards to play.
I like the gimmick with Matt Hardy. I really do. I think it's a little bit like a weird TNA rip-off of a WWE gimmick, but in reverse. But I don't know. I like the laughing. I like the weird pronunciation. I like the idea that he's now, I don't know, haunted or kind of possessed by this spirit, and it's kind of someone pretending to be human. I like all of that. I just don't think I like Matt Hardy's wrestling at this point in time.
Yeah.
No.
Poor old Matt Hardy.
Next up, we went back to the Barclays Centre, where we were introduced to, and I quote, some of the greatest female superstars of all time. So it was nice to see the Bella Twins, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've actually missed them. When I first got back into WWE, I hated them, but I have missed them.
I've really missed Maria Kanellis' entrance theme music.
Yeah, funnily enough, somebody on Twitter, I think it was one of the guys from the Broken But Glorious podcast, when we were doing our entrance themes, he suggested The Greatest Love of All. And I was like, nah, no way. And then hearing it last night, it is pretty good. It is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's good.
Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure why she was included in this list.
She's just around.
Do you know what would have been really good? Is if they had got to, just before Trish Stratus, they had done the Eva Marie entrance and then said, we had Raw 25.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been good.
So let me just list who was there. They had the Bella Twins, Maurice, Kelly, Lillian Garcia, Jacqueline, Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Terry Reynolds, Maria Kanellis, and Trish Stratus.
Yeah, it's strange.
Why was Lita not there?
No Lita.
No China.
No Edge. Let's start a rumour.
Do you know, this is weird because, I mean, some of these ones I didn't really know. Some of these ladies I'd sort of heard of but wasn't fully aware of. So I Googled a couple of them to see what they'd been up to. I Googled Tori Wilson, and the first thing that came up was the lesbian kiss that she did in the hotel room with, I can't remember. And I watched that, and I couldn't believe that was actually on WWE. I mean, I suppose it's believable because we know this sort of stuff they used to do in a way, but they just fully clothed and then they strip into their underwear and they kiss. and it's just on for, it's like a 30-second clip, and the crowd are all whooping and cheering.
Yeah.
So
wrestling
weird.
was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
weird.
it's difficult watching some of the old stuff sometimes.
It's basically soft porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of bra
Yeah.
panty matches. It's great seeing Trish Stratus, though.
Yeah,
Do you reckon she's going to rock up at the Rumble?
I don't know.
Surprise
I wouldn't
entrance?
be surprised. I don't think it would be much of a surprise now. I think it's probably
got-
quite likely.
Yeah, she got a big pop, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
And I'd go as far as to say she's best women's wrestler. Like,
Ooh.
Ooh.
She's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I mean, she put on some... I mean, her and Lita put on some truly awesome matches.
Up next, this has surely got a rival, the opening segment for one of the best segments of the night. Elias walking down the corridors bumps into Jericho wearing his Alpha t-shirt. Did you notice that?
Jericho does what he wants.
He really does. I loved it.
This was brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm really starting to get on board with Elias.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
I walk with that man.
Yeah, I heard a bit of an interview with Triple H recently when he was talking about how some wrestlers do okay at NXT and then do better in the main roster or vice versa, and he said that very early he knew that Elias is somebody that might not get over that well at NXT but would work brilliantly on the main roster, which is why they called him up. And he's right. It's worked out.
It was a ballsy move,
Yeah.
and he's got a shit finisher, but
He's great.
Yeah.
He is great, and everyone loves Jericho. So that was a perfect little segment.
Yeah.
And then obviously Elias made his way to the ring. Pointed out the fact that Jimmy Fallon was there. Obviously, we saw the lip sync battle that happened on the Late Show with Jimmy Fallon during the week. And if you haven't seen that, I'm sure you have. But if you haven't seen that, it's well worth looking at. Stephanie, Triple H, and Big E doing a lip sync battle. And they said that Jimmy Fallon was going to be at Raw, and I kind of expected him to do something other than just sit and look at Elias. It was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
and they had a lot to fit in, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they,
so.
though?
Well,
Some of what they put in. Did they have a lot to fit in?
They
yeah.
could have cut an Undertaker promo.
Yeah. That's not all, but yeah.
So Elias was doing his thing, singing his song, and John Cena came out. Elias hit him with a low blow, and that was that.
Elias went over on Cena. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's quite a statement for Elias.
Well, this is something that John Cena just does now, isn't it? He just puts over... He sort of elevates people. He's really, really good at it.
He's very good at that.
I'm glad Elias has learned how to use his guitar in the proper way that wrestlers
Oh, it
should.
looks so painful, that guitar.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. I really wish the Honky Tonk Man had been there for this. Like, that would have been the perfect.
Oh, yeah. That would have been...
Then we went back to the poker, and the New Day had joined in, and they were chucking pancakes into the middle instead of chips, and it was all going crazy. And then we found out it was all basically a setup for the next match, which was Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews versus Heath Slater and Rhino. But before that, just before that match, we had a little extra segment in the corridors with Sexual Chocolate himself, Mark Henry, meeting up.
Newly not retired Mark Henry.
Is he not
Yeah,
retired
I
now?
saw that.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not retired.
Thanks,
Good
Mark.
God.
And who did he bump into?
The Godfather.
The Godfather, Charles Wright. And I was delighted to see him. I wish he'd come as Papa Shango, though. I really did.
No one knows him as Papa Shango. Everyone knows him as the Godfather.
I do. Okay? That's why I wish it. I'm not worried about everyone else.
Yeah. It was better,
they had
but yeah.
They had a little interaction, and then we went to the match. Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews versus Heath Slater and Rhino. As I said, nothing really interesting happened until the Dudley Boys arrived.
Yep.
Yeah.
Devon looked like he's been enjoying his retirement, doesn't he?
Yeah. I thought exactly that. I mean, they got a big pop, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the Dudley Boys are great.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the Dudleys.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that in 2018 you would have Rhino and the Dudley Boys in the ring?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
I do sort of feel like, they haven't been long gone, so it wasn't as big a moment, but it was good. They had all the spots, and it was fun.
Did you see, I think Heath Slater definitely now is having no more kids because that flying headbutt looked like it caught him, full on. There was no, just missing or that looked painful.
Yeah, and then he went through the table, and I saw Rhino was sort of just having a laugh with the Dudley Boys. It was all a bit weird.
They're old school ECW mates, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Then back to the backstage area where AJ Styles was. Good to see him on Raw, and who arrived but Mean Gene Okerlund.
I popped so
I
hard
need
for
to
this.
highlight
Yeah, it was,
the absolute biggest absentee of this whole thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
great impression though. A great impression.
I thought it was good. Did you see his tweet, Hulk Hogan? We're talking about his tweet, sort of saying, really gutted I couldn't have been there with all my friends, but well done, sort of thing.
Well,
And then the weird thing was he accompanied it with a photo or like a picture of an illustrated Hulk Hogan watching Raw 25. So he could have taken a picture of him watching it, but it was somebody had drawn him watching the TV. Really
I
weird.
mean, just maybe be careful about what you say on the phone about people and just don't be a dick.
Yeah, he'll be back, don't you think?
I don't know. I thought if he was going to be back, he would have been back.
Yeah.
At this, but
They did think that this was going to be like him coming back, but obviously it's not going to happen.
good for WWE. Stick to your guns. I don't think he should be back.
I mean, they're not going to stick to the guns though, are they? He will be back at some point.
Yeah.
It's WWE.
Raw 50.
Yeah, he'll definitely be back at some point.
When we're reviewing Raw 50.
When he's
I reckon he'll be there.
senator.
Yeah.
Isn't that the latest? Hulk Hogan going for Senate?
Hey, is he?
Yeah, something like that. Saw it on Twitter. I was just like, oh my, surely not.
An old man with orange skin and blonde hair in politics. Just stupid.
Yeah.
Satire. Nice.
That is satire. Totally nailed it.
Clip that, send that to Nevermind the Possibles.
I don't think that's on anymore, but yeah, sure, we'll give it a go. Then we went back to the Manhattan Center again. They did get to see their fair share of stars. They just had massive gaps in between it where they were doing nothing. And we had the D-Generation X reunion. Was Shawn Michaels off his face?
No.
No,
There was an X-Pac charm.
he's clean living now, isn't he,
Yeah,
Shawn
yeah.
Michaels?
I know,
Good
but
God-fearing man.
Yeah.
sort of, yeah. He just, well. Anyway, I've
He
got to
said
be
my
positive.
favourite line of the night where he said, I used to be the boss of this group, now you're the boss of everything. To Triple
Yeah.
H.
Yeah,
I've got that written down. That was
that
brilliant.
was good. Triple H is just the master of the rousing speech, isn't he? The
Yeah.
way he was sort of saying, "This is all because of you," which is a bit much, but he is good at that kind of thing. So obviously, yeah, Michaels and Triple H came out first with their glow sticks, and New Age Outlaws then came out, then Scott Hall, and then the Balor Club, which was pretty cool. I thought that was quite nice the way they got them involved.
Yeah.
You don't think you missed anyone out?
Yeah, I was
there?
going to say, Sam. Can you pick that up?
What, the people who they then buried?
No, X-Pac.
No.
Oh, X-Pac, yeah, I didn't even write him down.
That's okay. Everyone else forgets he's there as well.
Of course. So yeah, X-Pac was there as well.
Did you see? I like the 1, 2, 3 kid chant as well.
Yeah, that was cool.
Nice callback.
And then they brought out the Revival, and they set up a match between Gallows and Anderson and the Revival, which Gallows and Anderson won, which is a bit silly, really, but kind of made sense for what they were doing. And then they just totally buried the Revival by getting everybody to...
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
do their
Why?
finishes.
Why? What? Why not just bury like Brizango or something?
This was
That's
mental.
what I thought.
This was mental. Like, probably, the best tag team that they've probably got at the moment. They're finally back, and they've just totally buried them.
Bizarre. Absolutely just mad.
I guess
Yeah.
on Raw last week, they were bad-mouthing the DX guys, but obviously to set this up. So it kind of made sense that they followed on from that, but yeah. I mean, they are the best tag team, and they've just come back.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Hopefully the writers in the world forget that Raw 25 happened for some of these guys. And next, the next show, it can go back to some proper storylines.
Yeah, the Revival's time will come,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah.
They're great.
I quite like the Balor Club.
Really?
okay, and then finally,
All right.
I just don't really like Aloes and Ganderson. I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
That's
of
because they're from New Japan.
Yeah.
Balor Club either.
I love how much
okay.
Finn's smiling, though.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I think they're going to make a good heel stable.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. And then finally, to round it all off, we had the big face-to-face between Braun Strowman, Kane, and Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle came out, accompanied by the Locker Room and the guys from APA Protection and the Poker Game and everyone else. Stood around the ring, and I think this was quite clear that they were overrunning, and they said that the show was already in, it was already overrunning by the time that this started. So
was
it's
it?
kind of, slightly rushed. Strowman came down, Kane came down. They gave the stat of him being on 21 of the 25 years of Raw, which is pretty impressive. Heyman introduced Brock Lesnar, and then they all beat each other up a little bit. I say all. Kane didn't do anything, did he?
He's got to save it. He's got a lot of work to do on Sunday.
Yeah, and then Strowman went over, so this just means Lesnar's going to win, doesn't it? Really?
Well, so my theory, although after this little segment, I don't think it's going to happen anymore. But I thought possibly that Braun was going to pin Kane, take the belt, and it would lead to a WrestleMania match between Braun and Brock. But the fact that Braun was so strong here probably means he's losing on Sunday.
That's what I thought.
I think Kane is going to eat a pin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think with all the talk of it's always going to be Reigns versus Brock, I wonder if we might get like a last-minute swerve.
I mean, to be fair, it is always going to be Reigns versus Brock. Does it have to be Reigns versus Brock for the title, though? Like, they could easily still make that their main event at WrestleMania.
That's
and
true.
Still have someone wrestle Braun Strowman.
They've
for the title,
got 4 hours to kill. They always like to have these marquee matches, a lot of the marquee matches. So you never know. But
it's just Braun's so over, so popular at the moment.
Yeah,
like, he needs to be big. He needs to be big at WrestleMania, you'd think.
I tell you what, I would not be surprised to see a Roman versus Brock match at WrestleMania, if not for the title, and then see a John Cena versus Braun match for the title at WrestleMania, with Cena going over.
Maybe. I mean, there's not much more Braun can do, is there? Really? I mean, he's putting down scaffolding. He's flipping.
Literally just in a queue for champion at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he's just their Godzilla.
Yes.
They're just going to keep setting up stupid things for him to destroy.
Yeah,
stomp
I hope
around.
He wins. If he wins, then I mean, not only are we getting together at my house for the Rumble, so I'm going to have the champagne on ice, but I mean, I'd just be so happy for the podcast. It'll be a better podcast if Braun wins.
So, why would it be a better podcast if he wins?
Because you'll be happy.
I'll be in such a good mood, and it's at my house. If he loses, then I'll be like, right,
I think I kind of want to see depressed Adam. Like, I want to see that morose sort of.
I think we're all up
we've got
for
to talk about wrestling again, guys.
Well, that's what will happen if Kane wins. That's what's going to happen. So we will have to wait and see.
We're looking for Clash of Champions, Adam, not Braun Strowman champion, Adam.
Good one, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Good
We
gag.
can cut that. It's fine. Let's continue.
No, I'm keeping that in. Really strong joke to finish off the podcast. That's it. Raw 25. Here's to another 25 years. Yada, yada, yada. Happy birthday, Raw. Congratulations. That's it.
Oh my God! Oh, nice spread on the apron.
Right. So, Raw 25 discussed. Now, exciting times for us, anyway. Hopefully this is going to be good. We've got a little new segment idea. At the moment, it's just called Hardest Part of the Ring Champion. We don't really have a good name for it, so maybe we'll get one as time goes on. Here's the jingle.
I'm the champ.
The champ! That's why I'm the champ!
And I'm going to leave this to Sam to explain
Right, yeah.
what's going on, Sam.
We are going to crown the inaugural Hardest Part of the Ring champion.
Woo!
Basically. But because tournaments are boring and voting is also not quite as fun, we're just going to kind of choose a wrestler randomly. Well, you're going to choose a wrestler randomly, Adam. And then how we're going to do this is we're going to follow that wrestler every single week and see who they're wrestling, see if they win. If they win, they continue to hold the belt. If they lose, whoever they lose to, if they're pinned or submitted, they become the new Hardest Part of the Ring champion. And we're going to follow this championship indefinitely. The only way that they can lose the title is pin, submission, or if they don't wrestle for 4 weeks, in which case they then vacate and restart again. So this could be anyone, to be honest. It's all up to Lady Luck.
I hope it's not Titus O'Neil.
Maybe we'll have a little caveat if it's Titus O'Neil, we'll skip, but we'll see. So basically, it's like winner stays on, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to pick someone. He's going to be the champion, and then first time they lose, whoever beats them is the champion. It's a bit like Conkers in the playground. I've got a Conker that's won 25 games. Your Conker beats mine. He takes 26. That's bollocks. That doesn't make any sense. It's nothing like that. Okay, ignore
I was
everything
wondering where
I
you're
said.
going with that. Like Conkers, yeah, there's an analogy everyone's going to get.
Yeah, ignore everything I said about Conkers. Sorry to our American listeners.
Before we do this,
yes.
I was going to ask you guys, who's going to be the champion this time next year?
Okay. Well, you think, it would rise to the top, so it's probably going to end up being on someone like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent guess.
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry.
Maybe.
AJ
It could be. He
Styles.
could come and win a match and then not do much. AJ Styles from Brett.
AJ Styles.
I'm going to go with Elias.
Oh.
I hope it's Elias now.
Are we going to start with Gold Dust?
No. We're going to randomly pick somebody. So as Sam mentioned, I have put everybody's name. So
Come on,
basically we've
Goldust.
gone for all of the male wrestlers from SmackDown and Raw. I've even included people with long-term injuries. I don't know why, but sometimes people come back quicker than expected. So we'll see who we get. Do it completely randomly and see who we get. So here it is. The first ever Hardest Part of the Ring champion is dun, 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 Jason Jordan.
Oh, that's
No.
pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
not Gold Dust.
All right. Shitty mid-card. Nice.
Yeah, well, obviously the interesting thing is that he's in a tag team. So what happens, Sam, if his tag team lose?
If Seth Rollins gets pinned,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
If Jason Jordan gets pinned, whoever pins him,
Okay.
they're the champ.
So we could see a title change this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could see a Sheamus or Cesaro or who knows. But
Okay.
good for Jason Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about
That's not
time he had.
nepotism.
It's about time he had some good news. I think we should get in touch with him and let him know that he is the champ. Let's note this down. Wednesday, 24th of January, 2018. Our first ever Hardest Part of the Ring champion is Jason Jordan. So yeah, we'll just check in every week, every podcast, just to see what's going on, and we'll see who holds the title for the longest. And yeah, should be a bit of fun. If you guys disagree and think it's a load of bollocks, then keep that to yourselves because we're enjoying it. That's that then. Next podcast, as we've alluded to, will be the Royal Rumble that's coming up on Monday. The three guys coming over to my house. We're going to watch it and then we are going to record the podcast straight afterwards. So looking forward to that. And that's pretty much it. Sam, how do people get in touch?
They can contact us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at hardestpartpod, or they can email us at hardestpartofthering@gmail.com.
That sounded like a pre-recorded message that you set up, which would be quite impressive.
I might do that for next time.
Yeah, you should. Okay, thank you for listening, everybody. Please do review, subscribe, grade, rate, whatever you're supposed to do, and all that stuff. God, I nailed that. And until next week, which will be our 4th episode in a row, 4 weeks in a row. Pretty good going, guys. It is goodbye from me, Adam. It is goodbye from Sam.
See ya.
Goodbye from John.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from Brett.
Toodle pip.
That was the Hardest Part of the Ring.
That is the hardest part of that ring.